Here's the pros and cons of my journey with Guanfacine and ADHD and
Just like,
confidence.
I'm talking fast, so I'm like, let me breathe first. With that, I wanted to update you guys on like what it's been being diagnosed, taking medication on ADHD, because I just want to remind you guys that like it does get better. It is a huge learning curve.
My name is Nicole Valentine. I'm a wellness and lifestyle entrepreneur. On my channel, I share about pregnancy, wellness, spirituality, and so much more. I also have an apothecary for my sea moss gel. Subscribe so you don't miss a beat.
Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It is a beautiful day in Los Angeles and I feel really good. This is what projector success look like. It is what projector success feels like. I am now recording my YouTube videos on my new Sony ZV-E10. I'm definitely going to link it in the description. My cousin actually gifted me this camera, but you can get it on Amazon, and I'm just super grateful. I've waited a really long time because I was trying to save up for the camera myself. I also just like, I'm talking fast, so I'm like, let me breathe for a second. But again, that's my excitement, just because y'all know, like, if you've been watching my videos from the beginning, this has been a growth journey on YouTube, and a lesson on imposter syndrome, tapping into my self-confidence, a lesson on self-love, because I've had to learn a lot, grow a lot to get to a place of even being here with you guys. So this is really exciting because this video today is going to be about my ADHD. So I talked about my diagnosis and how I got diagnosed during my pregnancy with ADHD, and now I am 7 months postpartum. You guys are missing all my hand gestures. I'm 7 months postpartum with my daughter Indy. She is sleeping inside. So with that, I wanted to update you guys on like what it's been being diagnosed, taking medication on ADHD. The medication I take is actually called Guanfacine. I have it right here. There you go. So this is Guanfacine. I am supposed to take one a day. The generic form of Guanfacine is called 10X. I am recording outdoors, so if you hear some noise, it is because I am outside, although I am also using my Rode mic, which I love, which I also now have upgraded my YouTube equipment with. So I'm going to link that as well, and also my Amazon tripod. I'm looking at it like it's an Amazon Basics tripod that I've had, and I feel like now that I have the camera and the dust bunny, the mic on top, I feel really good to get to creating. And as a small content creator, I'm adding this part because I just want to remind you guys that like it does get better. It is a huge learning curve. If you've been creating for a long time, I feel like this is our year. This is our period. This is our time. A lot of small content creators are getting opportunities, so please take advantage of them. Don't believe the market's oversaturated. I believe we're all here to be creators, and the fact that we now live in an age that we can do something like this and create from a space that we love, go for it. So with enough of that being said, I am going to jump into my update on Guanfacine. So as you guys have seen, Guanfacine, let me show you guys what the tablet looks like. So when I take it, right now it's about 2 p.m. so I wouldn't take it now. I would wait till around bedtime. I've actually been taking it around 5 p.m. Oh, I just wanted to make sure the door is closed. I've actually been taking it around 5 p.m. just because I feel like when I do, oh, this is what it looks like. Can you see it in my fingers? Ooh, look at this camera. And my nail all broken. We gotta do what we gotta do. So, it's small. Take it once a day in the evening, like before bedtime. Because I know that I want to get up earlier in the mornings, I just assume my bedtime is earlier. So I've been taking it maybe like 4 or 5 p.m. in hopes that it'll get me to go to sleep earlier. Kind of's been working, kind of hasn't. We'll talk more about that. Here is what it's like taking Guanfacine, and I'm going to give you my personal pros and cons. So first pro of taking Guanfacine, it does help me go to sleep. So yes, when I do take it earlier, I do find myself going to sleep. The only thing is, I would say you want to drink lots of water because it does make your mouth dry. And then if you are someone who uses other plant antidepressants like cannabis, then you really want to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. I'm still working on getting my water intake to where I want it to be. Again, because I'm postpartum, I'm also a breastfeeding mom, and with that I do have to make sure that, you know, I have a lot of water intake and that I'm producing a lot of milk. And that is a whole nother video. I probably can like give you guys some tips on that. So yes, it does make my mouth really dry, but it does help me to go to sleep. And a huge thing is, you know, when it comes to your mood, is how well you sleep. So I highly recommend making sure you get some rest. So now I'm going to mention a con. One con I had when taking Guanfacine is the tiredness for the first month. So I am 7 months postpartum. I probably started taking Guanfacine around my 2nd month postpartum. And I will say, if you are a new mom, being even more tired on top of your level of tiredness is a lot. So if you do need to get on ADHD medication, keep that in mind, that you might feel tired at the beginning. I do feel like really good nutrition, I do feel like getting your walks in and other things can really help with, you know, dealing with the tiredness. You can push through. I'll bring up another con because I think this is a big con, is rumination. So my rumination could come from postpartum depression, even though I don't necessarily feel depressed, but I do know that my mood can fluctuate. And I'm sure that has to do with recently have given birth and now dealing with hormonal changes. But one thing I will say from Guanfacine is dealing with negative thoughts and rumination. So I do feel like if you do not have your water intake right, I feel like a mosquito just got me. So I'm actually gonna pause this. So I just got some citronella. My mom sent me this little bottle. I'm sure I could put it on my Amazon storefront if you guys need like basic citronella oil. I feel like just putting this on my patio furniture helps keep them away, but I do have to remember doing it as soon as I step out here because they will bite you up, you know, which is funny because they said like it's a spiritual sign if mosquitoes are biting you. It's like someone or something trying to siphon your energy, and I definitely feel like that. Like I know that like energetically everyone's talking about spiritual protection being up, but I definitely do feel like I'm stepping into a space where it's gonna attract a lot of attention because I really feel like I'm walking in my purpose. Hear that? Funny, the helicopter went off. Or is passing by. But yeah, with that, look, mosquito. With that, I am really being mindful and guarded and just, you know, focusing on what I gotta get done. Let's see. Next thing is dry mouth. So as I mentioned, like you will feel pretty dry, so drinking a lot of water, being hydrated, it does help you go to sleep. So I would say even drinking a lot of water before bed so you wake up and you feel hydrated in the morning would be really helpful. Okay, so this is a huge con. So I'm mentioning all the cons because there are a lot of benefits and I feel like I want to end on a good note. So this is a huge con. It doesn't pair well with coffee or alcohol. So I will say if you are someone who really loves coffee, you may want to cut back on your coffee intake if you are now taking ADHD medication. I would even say try not having any, but if you do need a cup, just get like one because it does affect your medication, and I think it also can affect your thoughts and just like your productivity levels. Like you already are getting what you need from the meds, so sometimes by taking coffee, you're actually adding another stimulant. So technically too, Guanfacine is a non-stimulant ADHD medication, and I'm on it because, again, I'm breastfeeding. So it is non-stimulant. Something like Adderall would be a stimulant medication. But because I feel it helps my mind rest and I wake up feeling clear and ready to do the things I gotta do, having a cup of coffee is good in the morning. But then if I feel like I've had a lot of coffee, or if I had coffee and then decided like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy my day, go to the pool, relax with friends, and have like a drink, I might notice that day I don't feel as productive or focused or just like calm as I would if I just like took my medication. So keep that in mind if you are someone who likes to drink, or if you're someone who likes your coffee, that Guanfacine may not pair well. Everyone's different, so you might enjoy it, but I think like when you are starting a medication, it's good to eliminate other things and just see if the medication is what works. I've been in the experimental stage for a while because at the beginning when I started taking Guanfacine, I wouldn't take it every single day. ADHD brain would still forget sometimes, and then even other times if I didn't forget, I would find myself like, if I had, you know, maybe an extra cup of coffee, that maybe I didn't need to take it because I just wanted that out of my system before taking it. So it is something that you can take it and then wean yourself off, but I would definitely speak to your nurse practitioner or doctor, whoever is prescribing you Guanfacine about it, just because they'll know what's best for you. But I would say in the first 90 days, it's probably like really good to just take it every single day as your body's acclimating to it. That is something that was my personal con, in the sense that I was struggling to do that. Now I have a lot more consistency, and I think a big part of that is from all the pros. So, oh, my little Ganesha. So, all of the pros of taking Guanfacine. My mood is much better. I feel like I'm not completely out of like the mommy brain. So I do feel like my focus could be better, but I do feel like in terms of my patience, my ability to form tasks that I couldn't perform when I was pregnant because I just felt like so overwhelmed, or even just like physically could not handle, now I've been able to tackle those tasks. Also, I've been training 3 days a week, doing like cupping, massage, and just stretching, all of this amazing stuff at a health boutique not far from me, and I feel like that has been huge in my success, in my even continuing to take my meds, because I feel like because I was also doing other things that helped my well-being, it helped my memory, my ability to take my medication, you know, just building on good habits. It helped me set more of a routine because I had certain times I had to be at the, and still have to be at the gym because I train there. So with that, it's been great, I will say. I am grateful because I know that I had so much support in ways that I did not expect during my pregnancy, and even getting diagnosed and deciding to get on ADHD meds during my pregnancy was part of that support. If it wasn't for my doula and my partner realizing that maybe this is something that we should look into, you know, not just saying like, oh, I have ADHD, but actually looking into taking the steps to, okay, how do we get her diagnosed if she truly has? Like, let's first see if on the books she has ADHD. And then from there, it was like, okay, you do have ADHD. Let's see what other things we can do to help mitigate it. So I'll show you guys some supplements I take that help mitigate my ADHD, along with Guanfacine. And I feel like it's also great to try these supplements before hopping on ADHD meds, especially because you might find yourself waiting a while to get diagnosed or get treated. So for me, from the time I thought I had it, or, you know, it's been a few years, and I probably my whole life, because I've always joked about it, but it's been a few years where I'm like, okay, maybe I might have this. And then on top of that, with the quarantine, it was a lot easier to, you know, spend time with yourself. Also, me and my partner got together, so I was around another person a lot of the time, and he was able to really watch me and like just notice behavioral patterns that I hadn't noticed. And with that, I was able to find out. Maybe how I found out should be another video. And I think actually I made a video on how I found out, so I will link it here. So you guys can watch my ADHD diagnosis video. I also made a video with my partner about finding out I had ADHD and how he noticed signs. So I will link that video here. And then I want to hop into another mosquito. I want to hop into these other items that I've taken that I've noticed have helped me. So the first item I will mention is calm powder. Calm powder. This powder is great. It's called the anti-stress drink mix, right on the top of the bottle, if you guys can see. There we go. And it really does help. Magnesium. So what magnesium does for the body is it helps relax your muscles. And when your muscles are relaxed, you're more likely to be relaxed, right? Because you're not holding tension within the body. I naturally hold a lot of tension in my body. If someone touches me wrong or or incorrectly, or something sudden happens, I'll freeze up or jump and realize I kept that even though I went about my day. So having calm, especially during pregnancy, was a blessing. I would definitely recommend taking it every day if you can. I did not. But again, also know what works for your body. I am not a doctor. I'm only giving you things that have worked for me. Then the next item is St. John's wort. Perfect. So St. John's wort is a herb. It promotes a positive mood, as it says on the bottle, and as you know, I will link all of these items. Okay, this bottle is a little harder for it to capture, but I will link all of the items down below. But St. John's wort, my mom actually recommended because it helps her with her anxiety. She's also a RN, so with that, I took it as a recommendation worth trying. She's my mom, we have the same genes, and also she is a medical practitioner, so why not, right? So with that, I will say that it has been helpful. It takes a little longer for my body to acclimate. It may be different for you, but it is something you can try. And then the last item I will mention, actually there's two items I'm going to mention. I'll mention ashwagandha. I forgot to bring it out here, but I will also add it below and tag it. I use the one from a brand called Sun Potion, and their ashwagandha, it comes in powder form. I add it into things I'm eating, drinking. I like it in my coffee, and I use a fingerful. I use my nail to scoop a little because it has a strong taste. It's pretty bitter. But you can use ashwagandha to help promote focus, and I noticed that even with Guanfacine, pairing it with ashwagandha hasn't affected my medication, and I feel like it helps me focus and get even more long forward things like this done. So the last product that I use that really helps my ADHD and just my overall well-being is my sponsor for today's video. Yes, my first sponsor, and this is exciting because my first sponsor is me. So I actually own a apothecary called APOTHECARY, and I make sea moss gel. So sea moss is a sea algae that has 92 of 102 minerals the body needs. It's anti-mucus, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory, and it's really, really good for helping your body's immunity. I've watched it help people during COVID. I had a friend whose father was in the hospital. He took some sea moss, and it really helped him in his recovery of getting over COVID. So with that, it's been my passion project to continue making sea moss. It's funny because as a business model, I don't really enjoy the model of it because it involves a lot of labor. But I continue to do it because I do love the reward of it being a labor of love and seeing how much sea moss helps people. So as I mentioned, taking Guanfacine was a journey. I'm still figuring out when's the best times for me to take it, how do I feel, but I will say overall I'm getting more done than I have in the past. I will say I'm making better decisions. I will say Each day my well-being gets a little better, but also I notice that I'm not dependent on it at all. There are days that I'll go 2 days without taking it because I realize I just don't need it. Again, because I still feel like I'm within the first few months of acclimating, and I say first few months, but I'm like on month 5, right? You know, I do want to take it more just because I did a lot of taking it here and there at the beginning, because I think I still had a lot of stigma when it comes to ADHD, and I just wasn't comfortable taking it, because I even knew someone who also went through postpartum and needed to take meds, and I could tell like she was judging herself about it. So I kind of felt like I went through that too, was judging myself about it, and then I realized like it's literally chemicals and hormones, and like just like we go to the doctor and would fix an arm if we broke our arm, if we are neurodivergent and need something to help our brains balance again, especially if you're someone who's gone through PTSD or you know, any major life-changing thing that could have triggered even more ADHD behaviors. Because when I think about it, there's periods of my life that I had the focus and I had the diligence. So that's why I'm like, when did my ADHD get as bad as it did, where I felt like I needed to get on meds? Because I did go a long time, right, without needing it. So with that, just think about all of those things. I'm just saying this kind of like word vomit for you to capture what you need to know, and decide like what resonates with me, what might work for me best. So here are my personal pros as a recap for taking ADHD meds. Number 1, better sleep. That helps a lot when your mind can truly rest. You get up ready to handle your tasks, feeling like you're capable of handling your tasks, being productive, and having energy. Number 2, more focus. I notice that I can pay more attention, get more long form things done. I'm so mad that siren's going off, but even like taking the time to create videos and writing my scripts out, that was a struggle for me a few months ago, and I noticed that now I feel like my head is clear and I'm back on track. Next thing, writing more. So writing my scripts out, even writing in my journal, reading more long form things. It helps a lot that I am taking meds, because I feel like I'm able to do those tasks. Next one, I'm recording inside. It's just the lighting, like, so the lighting right here is nice. My daughter's sleeping, so this is why I've been recording here, but we might gotta change the location. Anyway, this is a huge pro. Less emotional, helps with rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So rejection sensitivity dysphoria in ADHD is a symptom of ADHD, and where like the smallest thing that might not affect anyone else, like you feel it so strongly. So like you might have gotten a lower grade on your test and you really know that you studied hard, and it just feels really bad, but like it doesn't just feel bad to you, it affected your day completely. Or for me, I'll give you an example of how I felt rejection sensitivity dysphoria. I noticed that things don't bother me as much. I don't take things as personal. Also, I just think I've been deepening my study of human design, as I want to share that with you guys as well. So with that, I'm just really learning to see life for what it is. And also, I think with taking Guanfacine, my lenses are a little different, right? My perspective is changed, because it's also changing things in my brain. The next thing is clearer mind, easier to maintain good habits. Yes, when you have a clear mind, it's easier to make better decisions, clearer decisions. It's easier to decide, oh, let me get a smoothie instead of getting coffee first thing in the morning. It's easier to decide to drink water first thing in the morning, or to take a moment to meditate instead of like calling the first person you think of. You know what I mean? So yes, it helps. So with that, I'll say the benefits definitely outweigh the cons, but the cons do require you to instill good habits, because that's the only way you'll truly get the benefits of taking Guanfacine. So I hope this video helps. Know that for every single person is different. My experience is as a 7-month postpartum mom taking Guanfacine who is breastfeeding. Your experience might be a student, or I don't know, there's someone out there watching this to take it. So I love you guys, and see you in the next one, guys, and peace.
Okay, so you made it to the end. I think it's time to subscribe.